Welcome to My World is Gorgeous. There's a lot going on today, so let's check it out. As we get into today's video, one of the things that we tackled this week was getting up the leaves out of, I guess you would just say, the gutter. So we raked up all the leaves that we already had here. We have a part where we're blowing some leaves down into the gutter and then getting them back up. The leaves that are on the other side of the mailbox, we got them up a totally different day, because by the time I finished with this side of the yard and I blew the other side of the yard as well, which I am not showing that part, that would make for too long of a video, you know what I'm saying? We got those up on a totally different day, but we used 4 bags to get up this whole section here, as well as re-blowing this side, which did not have a lot of leaves in it, may I say, and getting them up. Normally I would have gotten up all of my leaves in 2024 during the entire fall and by the winter time, but we've been talking about it for a while, that with me cutting up the wood and everything, that it really added a lot to my schedule this year, or this season I should say, because we're in 2025 now. So it put a lot on me this season. Granted, the next seasons that come, I will already be prepared. I will have all of my wood for the winter already cut up. That way won't be an issue with something that I'll have to do and tackle. I mean, cutting up the wood this winter really did a lot. I didn't even get to tend to a lot of the gardening that I wanted to tend to. And as you see here, we're blowing, and you can see it's not really a lot of leaves there, but once we get all of that blowed down, we'll get the rest of that up. And you can see over to the right that there's mulch and wood there. I have to finish cutting up that wood, my son and I, and stacking that up in the back. And then that mulch, part of it is going to go where you see me blowing the leaves at. The reason I'm putting the mulch there, I'm going to put cardboard under it to choke out the grass, and then I'm going to put mulch on top of that. And then the area where you don't see grass at behind me, and where you see those miniature dwarf Alberta spruce trees, right in the middle of there is where we're going to actually have a nice, beautiful patch of grass. So as you see, right here, we're getting up the last of those leaves that we just blew, and then we're going to get on to our next project. Okay, see you there. All right, so we've been outside this morning. We've been taking care of leaves and stuff like that. It took me a minute to get that in. I still got to do the other half of the ditch, basically. And then I also took on a project, whereas I was starting to build one of the beds, and time got away from me, so I wasn't able to film it all, but I will film the other half of it, and I'm gonna turn the camera around so you can see the part that I did do. And then I also separated some of my seedlings. Well, I'm going to show you that also. 2 homesteads in the back came up, 2 green zebras came up, and 3 yellow tomatillos came up. So out of those that came up, what I'm going to end up doing is reseeding some things. Let me show you up here. I still have to do my peppers. I still have to do my lettuces and kale and kohlrabi and mustard greens. I still have to separate all of these, and they're starting to get a little leggy. So on tomorrow and the following week, that's what I will be doing. Here we have our loofah that is growing. This one still nothing came up in it, so I'll reseed that. And I'm trying to remember where my celery, here we go. Not this tall one here, that's leaning from the other side. But all of this is our celery. and we're going to separate that. I'm excited about the celery. This will be my first time actually growing celery from seed. It's been in here setting up this tray here, and I really need to tackle this tray. I am so dreading it, only because I have a lot everywhere. So I'm setting up this tray. I cleaned up over here. Let me step back so you can see. I cleaned up this area, this shelf right here, and I started cleaning this shelf. I'll probably come in here either tomorrow or the next day, and I just need to straighten everything. I added this shelf right here in. I need to put the top piece on, and the reason why I cleaned this shelf here off and laid out this heat mat is because it's been dropping down to about the 20s, and even though I have heat in here, I want to make sure that my seedlings are still doing pretty good. So you can see right here I have a whole lot, and it's time for them to get a little bit more water. And they're getting a little leggy because I hadn't been in here for a couple of days, but I need to come in. I need to separate everything. I need to separate. These here should be my basil, and I may have put a couple of peppers in the two back ones here. I think it's all basil up top here, and then peppers right here is what it should be. And then we have here, which are all peppers in here. And I actually need to switch and put that there because they're definitely wet. And then we need to separate these here. We have different lettuces and arugula and things like that in here. This one here, we have a couple of different things. We have Russian kale at the back. The middle is 1,000 head kale, which is supposed to get really huge. And then we have celery here. I think I showed that to you a little bit earlier in the video. And I need to separate all of these little celeries. It's a lot of them. Because the way the seeds are so small, so I just sprinkled some in there. Now inside of this here that I put seeds in, I restarted a few of my tomatoes that didn't come up on the first round. So I restarted the artesian blend, the tomatillo purple, tomatillo green. I reseeded the Romas, and then I added 2 cells of spinach in there. This whole 6 cell is spinach. This one is Swiss chard, and then I put beets in the last 6 cell one. Now, what I'm in the process of getting ready to start doing is my succession seed sowing. So I have all of these in right here. In about 2 weeks, I'm going to do another set of all of the exact same thing except the tomatoes. Do another set of all the same thing, and then I'll wait another probably 2 to 3 weeks and do another set of the exact same thing again, as well as with my lettuces up there also, so that way the entire spring I will be able to have that. Now this here is because I have, these are my snow peas. I have 3 different ones this year. Last year I only had 2, but I got these actually from Lowe's, and because I used up all the other ones that I got from rareseeds.com. But I mean, I like snow peas, so it don't really matter which ones they are. This one is the Oregon Sugar Pod. This is the Mammoth Melting Sugar, and this is, but these two are the organic brand. This is the non-organic brand. So this says melting sugar snow pea as well. The only difference is this one says mammoth. It looks like it's a little bit flatter than these ones here. So I should get at least 3 different kinds, which will go well in my salad and in my stir fries, which is what I put them in. My daughter likes to pick them off the stem and just eat them. Anyway, these, well, let me see. That's what I was picking them up to tell you. This one is 72 days to harvest, which is the non-organic melting snow, and then both of these are 60 days to harvest. So I won't put these, most of the time I put these in, I direct sow them. So usually in May, between April to May, I stick them in the ground, stick some plastic over them at night, take it off during the day, and then when it gets to where they're actually started growing, and I'll stick some what do you call it, some trellises in for them to grow up. So yeah, I always direct sow these. Granted, you can start them in seed trays, and I might, that's really all I'm out here doing. I've been trying to just really get stuff cleaned up that I kind of let go. This greenhouse is atrocious. You don't even want to see it. I have so much stuff on this side that I moved because I was putting this new can't even think of what the name of this is, but anyway, shelving unit. I was putting this newer the new shelving unit, and so I moved the one here that's to the side from here over there. Some of the other things that were sitting in between I moved so I could push this one here that I wanted to tell you guys, because I had my loofahs inside of these and I just kept them sitting in here watering them. They got too wet, but it's okay, because what I wanted to do, I really believe is going to work. So I'm going to put soil in a new one and put my loofah seeds back in there so they can start growing. This is May, and if I remember correctly, they take about 90 days to actually get to where they're starting to grow up on the trellis, and 120 days to harvest. And I'm going off of memory. You can look it up if you like, but if I'm not mistaken, it's 120 days to harvest. And I'll check and make sure I pop it up on the screen. You know, I pop it somewhere wherever my head isn't, which is where the answer will go. And so but I do believe it's 120 days before you can actually start harvesting it. So March, April, May, and most of the time you want it to be hot outside, so you want to start if anyone's harvesting, you want it to be definitely end of June going into July, August, where it's extremely warm outside, where they can start drying out. So you definitely want them to have vined up by the middle to end of June. Yeah, so fruit will start, the gourds will start being on the vine and growing bigger in July. So that way, between the end of July going into August, they'll actually start drying out. All of August, all of September, and you can start actually harvesting them between the end of September and, if you want, into October. And a lot of people are harvesting in August as well, depending on when you started your seeds in. So I am gonna put some more seeds in now, and I'm gonna do another set of seeds in April. So we got all of April, all of May, all of June, which gives us 90 days. And then between June and July, that's your 120 days. So yeah, that sounds real good. I think I'm gonna tackle this tomorrow. I really don't want to tackle this today. I really don't. I'm going to tackle it tomorrow when the sun is up a little bit higher. This is the end of this video, and I will make sure that I pop up, because we're now into March. I'll make sure I pop up on the screen, and I'll do that for every video for a while, what things should have already been planted in January to February and what things can be planted in March, and a couple of things that you could have planted that should have been planted in February that you could still plant in March, but you'll have a little bit of a later harvest, like your peppers. If you put them in now, you won't harvest them probably till about August, September. Just want to make sure you know that. So y'all have a great day. This your girl Erica with My World is Gorgeous. It was great you coming and hanging out with me this week, and I will see you next week with some more fun things going on. Okay? Happy gardening. I just had to show you guys this before we left. Look at my hellebores. I walked outside and saw them, and I said, oh, let me share. But make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe. Talk to you later. Hey, and before you go, check out these hellebores. I was so excited when I walked outside and saw them because you know they flower during the winter time, right? They are looking gorgeous. But make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.